All right, let's jump into another deep dive. We're going deep with Paul Robinson's Exceptional or Nothing today.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's been like a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
This guy Robinson, he's all about pushing boundaries, right? Reaching your full potential. And this book, man, it's packed with wisdom. We're going to zero in on one principle that really hit me hard. Be 100% to give 100%.
That's such a simple idea, but it's so powerful. You know, these days it feels like we're always on, constantly bombarded with stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So just like the idea of being fully present, fully engaged in whatever you're doing, it's almost like a revolutionary concept now.
It is, totally. I mean, seriously, think about it.
Yeah.
How often are we really like all there, 100% present?
Right.
Whether it's at work, at home with family, or even just trying to chill with a good book, there's always that little voice, you know?
Yeah.
That little voice in the back of your head, like, what's next on the to-do list?
Yeah.
And Robinson really nails it, I think, when he says that kind of divided attention. That's what keeps us from really excelling, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's like trying to listen to two songs at the same time.
Exactly.
You might catch bits and pieces of each song, but you're not fully appreciating either one, are you? Robinson's point is to truly give our best, we got to learn to like fully switch gears, be all in wherever we are at that moment.
Yeah, it's not about multitasking. It's like single tasking.
Right.
But like with your whole being.
100%.
And, you know, that really resonated with me because I used to be, honestly, the queen of picture-in-picture living.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Answering emails during dinner, planning my next work presentation while I'm supposed to be relaxing,
Yeah.
you know, reading a book.
Yeah.
It was exhausting. And to be honest, it wasn't doing me any favors. Like in any area of my life, I wasn't truly excelling.
We've all been there, I think. And it's interesting, Robinson uses a lot of his own experiences to explain these ideas, right?
Yeah.
He talks about being a speaker and how he realized he couldn't just like ease into his presentations.
Oh, interesting.
If he wanted to truly connect with the audience, he had to be tuned in from the very first word.
Like a musician, right? Meticulously tuning their instrument before a big concert.
That's a great analogy. It's not just about being prepared. It's about your mindset, too.
Absolutely.
You can't just flip a switch and suddenly be, you know? You have to create the right conditions for that kind of focused energy.
Exactly. And it's not just about presentations or, you know, being on stage. Think about anything you really want to excel at. Any task. Could be a creative project, a tough workout, even a deep conversation.
Right.
The energy you bring, how present you are, it all makes a difference.
In Robinson, he connects this whole idea of presence to what he calls aliveness.
Yeah.
You know, that state of being totally engaged, full of energy, just in the flow of the moment.
Right. He gives some really vivid examples, too.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Like, think of an athlete at the starting line right before the race, feeling every sensation, every muscle ready to go. Or that feeling, you know, the thrill, maybe even a little fear of driving a supercar for the first time. And he even talks about learning something new, which can be kind of uncomfortable at first, but ends up being so rewarding.
For sure.
Like, I remember when I first started learning guitar, it was so frustrating at first. But the more I practiced, I started to feel that flow, you know, where you completely lose track of time, just totally absorbed.
Those are the moments when you feel truly alive, right?
Yes.
When you're pushing yourself, stepping outside that comfort zone and experiencing everything with all your senses.
Totally. And you know what else? Robinson uses the story of Philippe Petit,
Oh, yeah.
the tightrope walker who crossed between the Twin Towers. Talk about pushing boundaries.
No, I'm not saying we all need to go walk tightropes between skyscrapers. But the point is, there's a certain level of risk, of challenge that's needed to really feel that aliveness. It's about finding what makes you feel engaged, fully present, right there in the moment.
And I think that's a big part of this whole be 100% to give 100% idea. It's not just showing up, it's showing up with that energy, that passion, that willingness to push yourself and really experience life.
Well said. And Robinson, he goes on to connect this aliveness to the concept of flow, right? That state where you're so immersed, you lose track of time and just effortlessly produce your best work. He actually wrote Exceptional or Nothing in just 30 days.
Seriously.
Inspired by Sylvester Stallone's process for writing Rocky.
30 days, that's wild.
Yeah.
It just shows you what's possible when you tap into that flow. But it's not just about finding the right activity, it's also creating the right conditions for that flow to happen. And that's where this idea of priming comes in.
Yes, priming, like setting the stage for peak performance. You're consciously adjusting your thoughts, your emotions, even your surroundings to get into that optimal state, ready for whatever you're about to do.
So it's like warming up before a workout, but for your mind.
Exactly.
I like that. What are some examples of priming techniques? I'm all about finding hacks for better productivity.
Well, Robinson talks about the power of music, putting on an uplifting song to signal to your brain, okay, it's time to focus now. He also mentions how Travis Kalanick, the Uber founder, he used to use the phrase super pumped to energize himself and his team. It's all about those little rituals to shift your mindset.
I love that. It's like a little pep talk for your brain before you tackle something challenging.
Exactly.
And remember that example from the book where Robinson's sales team used the word Jew EC as their rally cry.
Oh, yeah.
So simple, but it became this powerful way to prime themselves for success.
Exactly. And he even talks about creating alter egos. He used prolific Paul to help him focus on writing. It's all about finding what works for you, what helps you step into that state of peak performance.
So priming is like setting the stage. But even with the best intentions, let's face it, distractions are going to happen.
Well, they always do.
How do we stay focused and present when there's always something trying to pull our attention away?
That's where mindfulness comes in.
Mindfulness. The antidote to our modern-day attention deficit, right?
It is. Robinson really emphasizes being fully present and aware of your surroundings, which, I'll be honest, can be incredibly hard in our hyper-connected world, but it's so essential if you really want to give 100%.
It's true. There's always something buzzing, pinging, flashing, trying to grab our attention. Emails, social media, the news. It's like our brains are on high alert 24/7. It's no wonder we all feel so frazzled.
And all that digital stimulation, it's actually shrinking our attention spans. The average person now loses focus after just 8 seconds.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
8 seconds?
That's shorter than the attention span of a goldfish.
No way. Shorter than a goldfish? That's both hilarious and kind of terrifying. No wonder I can never seem to finish anything without getting sidetracked.
Right. And here's the funny thing. All this multitasking we do, thinking it makes us super efficient, it's actually making us less productive and more prone to errors. One study even compared multitaskers to people under the influence of marijuana. And guess what? The multitaskers performed worse.
Okay, that's a serious wake-up call. So if our attention spans are shrinking and multitasking is basically making us worse at our jobs, what can we do? Is there any hope for us digitally addled humans?
There is. And Robinson, he actually offers some practical strategies. First, identify and minimize your distractions.
Okay.
Maybe that's turning off notifications, setting up a dedicated workspace, or setting boundaries around your time.
So it sounds like mindfulness practices like meditation could be really helpful in retraining our brains to focus.
Absolutely. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, so you can manage distractions better and stay present. And there's actual scientific evidence to back this up. Studies have shown that meditation can literally change the structure of your brain.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It shrinks the amygdala, which is like the fear center of your brain, and it thickens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and awareness.
So it's not just about feeling calmer, it's about actually improving your brain function.
Exactly. And that's a crucial step in being able to give 100%. Because when you're constantly distracted, just reacting to every little thing, you're draining your energy. It keeps you from fully engaging with whatever you're doing.
It's like you're running on fumes instead of operating at full capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
I've definitely felt that way before, like just going through the motions, not really present or engaged.
And that brings us back to Robinson's core message. Be 100% to give. 100%. To really excel in any area of your life, whether it's your work, your relationships, your hobbies, you need to be fully present, focused, and energized.
It's about showing up as your best self, ready to give it your all.
Precisely. And that takes being intentional with how you manage your energy, your focus, and your mindset.
So it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter,
Yeah.
being more strategic and intentional with our efforts.
Absolutely. It's about understanding how your brain works, what your triggers are, and developing strategies to optimize your performance.
Creating the conditions for success, both internally and externally.
Exactly. And one thing Robinson really emphasizes is setting clear priorities. He talks about essentialism, that idea of figuring out the few things that truly matter and getting rid of everything else that's just clutter.
Making those tough choices about where to invest your time and energy and having the courage to say no to the things that aren't serving you.
Right. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it better. Simplifying your life and focusing on what brings you joy and fulfillment. And ultimately, that's what allows you to be 100% present, 100% engaged, and 100% yourself.
This is really hitting home for me. And I know we've only scratched the surface of this be 100% to give 100% principle. I'm so curious to dive deeper into the practical strategies for actually putting this into practice in our lives.
Me too. And I think our listeners are eager to hear more as well. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're continuing to explore Paul Robinson's Exceptional or Nothing.
And, as we dig into this whole be 100% to give 100% idea, it's striking me that it's not just about being more productive or achieving more. It's like a whole different way of thinking about life.
Yeah, it's a mindset shift, isn't it? Robinson really hammers that home, the importance of mindset. It's about moving from that scattered, reactive way of being to one that's more deliberate, more focused.
Exactly. It's like we're programmed to live in this state of partial attention, always jumping from one thing to the next, never fully present in any of them. And Robinson is like, wake up, reclaim your power.
And to do that, we need to understand what we're up against. Robinson talks about how our brains are wired for survival, constantly on the lookout for threats.
Oh, that makes sense.
Even if those threats are just like emails piling up or whatever.
So that's why we're drawn to like negative news and drama. It's like our brains are always on high alert, even when there's no real danger.
It's natural, but man, it's tiring.
It is.
And that's why it's so important to be mindful of what we're taking in, the information we consume, the environments we're in. They're constantly priming our brains, whether we realize it or not.
That's a good point. So it's not just about minimizing distractions outside. It's also about managing that internal state.
Exactly.
Cultivating calmness and focus amidst all the chaos.
Yeah, and that's where things like mindfulness and meditation come in. They're not just about relaxing. It's about training your mind to be more present, more aware, less reactive.
I used to think meditation was just for like hippies and yogis.
Yeah.
But the more I learn about the science behind it, the more I'm fascinated. It's like a workout for your brain, strengthening those mental muscles that help you stay focused.
It is. Studies show that meditation can actually change your brain physically, makes you more resilient to stress, better able to regulate your emotions.
So it's not just about feeling calmer. It's about actually rewiring your brain for peak performance.
That's pretty cool.
It's like upgrading your mental operating system.
I like that.
And that's a key step in being able to truly give 100%. Because when we're always distracted, reacting to every little thing, we're draining our energy. It keeps us from engaging fully with what we're doing. Right, it's like running on fumes instead of operating at full capacity.
Exactly. And that brings us back to Robinson's idea of essentialism, identifying the few things that truly matter, and letting go of everything else that's just noise.
Making conscious choices about where we put our time and energy, and being okay with saying no to things that don't align with our goals.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the hardest things for people, myself included. We feel like we have to say yes to everything, be everything to everyone. But Robinson reminds us that it's okay to set boundaries, to prioritize our own well-being.
It's not selfish, it's self-care. And it's crucial if you want to show up fully in the areas of your life that really matter.
So it's not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it better.
Right.
Simplifying your life and focusing on what brings you joy.
Exactly. It's about creating a life that's fulfilling and sustainable. That's where the real power is.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I'm seeing things through a new lens, one that's focused on clarity, purpose, intention.
That's the power of Robinson's work. It makes you question your assumptions and create a life that's truly aligned with your values.
I'm excited to keep exploring these ideas and share more practical tips with our listeners. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. As we wrap up our look at Be 100% to Give 100% from Paul Robinson's Exceptional or Nothing, I'm realizing this isn't just about, like, a productivity hack.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's more like a whole new approach to life.
It really is. And one thing that's been hitting me as we talk about essentialism, mindfulness, it's how connected everything is. You can't just compartmentalize your life and expect to be 100% on in one area while ignoring everything else.
Yeah, totally. It's like thinking you can run a marathon on an empty stomach, no sleep.
Exactly.
You might push through for a bit. Eventually it'll catch up to you. And Robinson, he doesn't say it directly, but it's there throughout the book. You can't separate your work life, your personal life, your mental well-being, physical health. It's all part of the same system.
It's all connected. If you're burnt out, exhausted, it affects everything. Relationships, creativity, decisions, even your health.
Totally.
That's why this Be 100% to Give 100% is so powerful. It's not just about getting stuff done. It's about living a better life, more fulfilling, more meaningful.
It's about showing up fully in every part of your life, bringing that same intention, energy to everything you do, whether it's a big presentation at work or just a quiet evening with your family.
And it starts with being present, right here, right now. Because when we're truly present, we're more engaged, more aware, more connected to ourselves and the world around us.
I love that. It's not just about doing things. It's about being present, being mindful, intentional. That's where the magic happens. That's how we tap into our creativity, passion, our real potential.
It all clicks into place, and it's not always easy. Our world is full of distractions, but Robinson reminds us we have a choice.
We do.
We can choose to be more mindful, more intentional, more present.
We can take back control of our attention, our energy. And when we do that, we unlock this power, this purpose.
Right.
We might not have even known was there.
It's about remembering. Being 100% doesn't mean being perfect.
Right.
It's about trying to be our best. Knowing some days are better than others, there will be focus, there will be distractions.
Progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And be kind to yourself along the way. We're all a work in progress.
Absolutely. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one thing our listeners can do today to be more present, more focused, to really put this be 100% idea into practice?
That's a great question. For me, after reading Exceptional or Nothing and having these conversations, I'm inspired to create a morning ritual. Something to prime my mind for the day ahead. Maybe some stretching, a little meditation, setting some clear intentions for what I want to accomplish.
That's awesome. Even small changes like that can make a big difference.
They can. The key is to do it intentionally, consistently.
It's like building a muscle.
Yeah.
The more we practice being present, focused, the stronger we get.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Right. Be patient. Celebrate your wins. Learn from the times you stumble. And most importantly, enjoy the ride. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Exceptional or Nothing by Paul Robinson. This book has really changed how we think about living with purpose and presence. We highly recommend you check it out.
If you're ready to unlock your full potential and start giving 100% in everything you do, this book is a fantastic guide.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.